every Christian to go in a servant's entrance in life. Past the front door into the servant's entrance, and that's how we should conduct our lives, at the servant's entrance. What door do you go through? What door are you trying to get through right now? The big wooden door in the front? Or are you taking the servant's entrance?
Revival begins with the individual. Second Chronicles is preparing the conditions not only for an individual revival, but for a national revival. From prison to the promised land. Finishing strong, riding on God's promises. Number one, when you pray, you must put yourself in position. When you pray, you need to become humble. You need to begin to worship God, and in the midst of the worship, then you begin to pray for others. You become an intercessor. Isn't that what Christ is doing right now for you? He made payment for my past sins, my present sins, my future sins, and also, let's not forget, because how can we give people hope if we don't believe also that he also made payment for every degree of sin? You are supposed to write in here the sins, S-I-N-S, that are hindering you from experiencing the fullness of God's glory. You need to anchor your conscience at the cross.
Certain people have to feel they have to be baptized in order to see salvation.
Is it critical for you to know Jesus? No, but it is a sign of obedience, and it's a sign that you died and you rose again. It is what Paul talked about in 1 Corinthians 18 and following, that the gospel is Christ crucified and resurrected. Amen? Amen. Good question. Good question. Hallelujah.
It moved me to be more active as a Christian than I have been in the past. And I pray God that He will help me to do that and help the rest of y'all to do that too. Thank you.
And Manny believes that the revival in this country, which we all know we need, could come from you guys. So, and we want this not to just be an emotional revival where you guys are all on fire for a couple of weeks and then you just go back to the same old strongholds and the same old things you've been doing. Manny's got a message tonight that we think is going to set this place on fire, and our mission is to go into prisons across this country and wake the churches up in the prisons. And we just feel that if we can have guys that are coming out of prison that are really strong, biblically grounded, when they get out, they don't need to be discipled. We can turn them loose on the churches out there.
And I want to ask these guys a question, a biblical question. What kind of lights did Noah have on the ark?
What kind of light did Noah have on the ark? He had the light out. Hey, man, that's a good question.
Yeah, floodlights.
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 I mean, yeah, floodlights. That's a good one. Look, that's a good one to me.
Hey, you got to cut that.
Yeah, because I can't see it. Hey, look, how about this here?
The Lord changed the prison, bottom line. And if I were an atheist, I would do what I did because, as I said, morality and moral rehabilitation is the only true rehabilitation. And that's what you see here, is moral rehabilitation. And therefore, then, when they get out of jail, they're not so prone to recidivate, and that means there won't be as many victims of violent crime. So it equates back to victims. this moral rehabilitation. Also, it seems that no groups have any problem with morally rehabilitating a human being. They may have problems with religion, but in our culture we find morality in religion quicker and better than anywhere else. And so it's really about doing what correction says do. It means correction means correct deviant behavior. And it doesn't mean lock and feed, torture and torment. But many people in the community just want the torture or the torment and forget the rehabilitation module, but you can't if you're going to reduce the number of victims when they get out of jail. It's 2 Chronicles 7:14. He's healed our land. And it's really a wonderful thing.